Hi everyone, my name's Tim, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to tell you about what I'm planning to read in March. So there's kind of three different categories of books I'm planning to read. One of them is the kind of challenges that I'm doing throughout the year. One of them is my mystery book that I'm looking to find out what it is. And then three of them are books that I was planning to read last month and didn't get to because February was super stressful with work and life and everything, so I didn't read that much. So let's go with that final category first. So these are three books that I wanted to read in February but just didn't get around to at all, didn't get anywhere near them. So the first is Almost There by Barrow Rochon. This is part of the Disney Twisted Tales series. This is the new covers that are now coming out. What if Tiana made a deal that changed everything? See, it's all about Dr. Facilier, who is one of my favourite villains, if not my favourite Disney villain. I love Tiana, I love Princess and the Frog, I like New Orleans, that kind of bayou jazz style. And Tiana's a great character because she's really motivated and goes and does stuff and is a real protagonist. So I'm looking forward to reading this. And it may be a lot of pages, but the font is quite big. So it should be an easier one to get through if I can actually get time and space to read. The next is a gift that I bought myself on my birthday last year, which is The Day of the Triffids by John Wyndham. I bought this in a really cool little bookshop in Kensington when we went to the Science Museum, and it's probably one of my favourite bookshops. I bought this for like £3.50 or something super cheap. And yeah, it's kind of a science fiction classic. It's about invading plants and blind people or something like that. I don't really know a ton about it, but John Wyndham is very popular and respected, and I quite like this style of cover. It's quite interesting, so I'm looking forward to reading that. The third hangover is a book that my wife bought me. This is a big red book. It's not that big. It's Robin Hood and His Merry Men. This is very old. I think it's from, I think I figured it out. It's from the Regent's Classic series, printed in the 1950s. It's very old and weathered. It smells amazing. Some art in it. I think it's kind of for younger readers, and I'm looking forward to reading it because I really like Robin Hood. It's one of my favourite Disney films because Robin Hood is a fox, not a man, fact. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading it. The next is part of my challenge. Something I'm trying to do this year is to read one fantasy book. First 2 months of the year, I read the first book in the Wheel of Time, and I've just finished the first Chronicles of Amber. So very classic fantasy. I was planning lots, mainly to read classic fantasy, but I found Chronicles of Amber a bit of a slog. I found the first Wheel of Time a bit of a slog, so I'm trying to mix it up a bit and go to some more modern fantasy. And this is something my sister-in-law bought me, Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldry. High fantasy, low stakes, good company. It's very short, should be quite easy to read, and I think it's about a former adventurer who, she's done slaying monsters, she's ready to serve coffee. So it's about her setting up a coffee shop, which seems quite interesting, and everyone who has read it, it's got really, really good feedback from people, so I'm looking forward to it. So the next challenge that I'm setting myself is to read a Jack London book every month. I'm a little bit behind on that for Feb, but I'm going to give myself another one to read. All of the previous ones have been on my Kindle. This is one I've got in paper because throughout today, I went with my family to the Tate Modern in London on the South Bank and had a magnificent time. But one thing they have on the South Bank, under one of the bridges, is a troll, and under another bridge is a book fair where you can buy lots of used books. There's kind of 3 or 4 different big long tables set out with books kind of just spread out all over the place, and you can just go have a look. And I actually really enjoy it because it's very easy to look at because they're just on a table. They're not like on shelves in all different sections. It's just very easy. You can walk along. One of the books I found and bought myself for just £10 is To Build a Fire and Other Stories by Jack London. So this, there were 2 copies of this. This is from Reader's Digest, printed in 1998. So this is quite old now. It's got a bit of weathering on the pages there. The other edition that they had had a really nice, like almost like newspaper clipping inside. I think it was like a guide to Jack London and the story from Reader's Digest, but the spine was ruined. Like it was all broken down here. There was a whole chunk of pages just hanging on for dear life. So I didn't want to pick that. But this has got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20 short stories. And Jack London's a writer that I really enjoy. It seems like it's a good mix. Short stories are nice because you can kind of do a bit of them at a time and maybe do them in between other books as well. And also, it's just a really nice, I really like this cover. I really like the gold leaf and the blue pattern and like the, not like spine, but bit extra. One thing is it does smell a bit musty. It doesn't have that nice book smell. But anyway, here's the final thing, the final book I want to read. This is my mystery challenge for March. So my wife has collated one mystery book for me every month. And so far, I've read January's and loved it. I read February's and really liked it. So I'm looking forward to see what March is. This is a little bit bigger. Previous two have been very small, so I'm excited to see what it is. Now let's do the opening up. It's definitely a book. Ooh, the Silmarillion. Okay. So it says, the little post-it, Leanne's left me a little post-it every day. It says, World Book Day 7th of March, read Tolkien Day 25th of March. So the Silmarillion is by J.R.R. Tolkien, and it's it's the story of the Middle-earth. Interesting. I kind of planned it would be about 350 pages. It's 440 pages of quite small font. I have tried reading this once, but that was when I was 16, 17, and I think I just read Lord of the Rings, and I was like, cool, let's read the Silmarillion. And I was like, this is going to be about the making of Sauron, and like it's like way before Sauron. It's a load of characters that I've never even heard of, but I always wanted to get back to this, so that's really nice to get this. I would guess, so my wife was like, who do you think it's come from? So I think, ooh, who's this come from? I would guess this has come from my brother-in-law, because he's a big Lord of the Rings fan. Oh, she's nodding, so yeah, I got that right, so that's good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this, because this is something that I tried a long time ago, and gave up on, because I went in with completely the wrong expectations. I was expecting, when I first read it, kind of Sauron, the origin story, and it's not that. This is Middle-earth, the origin story. And it was interesting watching Rings of Power last year, because Rings of Power is not even based on this. It's not. But watching it, I was like, oh, I had never really thought about this. And my brother-in-law was telling me, oh, this is the Númenóreans, and they're like this. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty interesting. So hopefully I'll find out a bit more about that. But yeah, there's my stack. It's quite an ambitious stack, actually, of books, seeming as how bad February went. But there we go. And I've still got one hangover book, one Jack London story that I'm still reading. But yeah, those are my books. If you've read any of these, let me know. Let me know which books I should, let's put them that way so you actually see the spines. Let me know which books I should prioritise. And I think there's a lot of pages there, but I think hopefully some of these are a bit more light reading, and then I think Silmarillion's going to be a bit denser. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. Anyway, give this video a thumbs up. It helps feed into the big evil YouTube algorithm. If you like watching some more of my videos, please subscribe. Apologies that I haven't been making videos for a couple of weeks, but work and life have just been really busy. So, and life I think will continue to be really busy, but I'm going to try and get back on reading and making videos, because reading makes me happy, and making videos also makes me happy. So anyway, I'll see you guys soon. Get out of my house!